Hey YouTube, Joe Bassett here for Valiant Outfitters. Welcome back for another Wilderness Wednesday. I was born in the Finger Lakes region of New York and then lived in Buffalo and then over to Albany in that area for a while as an adult. And just north of Albany are the Adirondack Mountains. I love those mountains. They're gorgeous. And I have some family history there. Family used to vacation there, would spend time at Lake George. Just a gorgeous part of the country. Well, this shelter is called the Adirondack Shelter, so it's got a special place in my heart. I also like to use it as a great shelter. It's a great shelter for hunting. It's fantastic because it has a nice open field of view. It does provide protection from rain. Water sheds very well. It does have a bit of this awning here, and I can construct it to have a bit of a ground cloth back here. Not really big enough to sleep on, but big enough to keep my gear safe. I do get protection from the wind, particularly if I put the back of it towards the wind so that that's the windward side. Now normally I deconstruct these shelters to show you how to put them up. For this shelter, I think it's easier if I leave it up and take you for a tour around it so you can see the tie-out points and see the concept behind it. Most people can figure it out on their own from there. For this, I'm going to need a ridge line. I've run a ridge line between two trees here. I did use a static knot over here. I did my Vink hitch over on this side. My dynamic knot to tighten that ridge line, I used the taut line hitch. I'm also running a line out from this awning. Now you don't have to run it to another tree, but this is a nice setup if you have a tree handy out there you want to run it to. That makes it nice and flat for you and opens up that field of view. But if you want to or you need to, you can drop this down and stake it off down here into the ground in the front. You can also just completely disconnect it from any type of guide line and flip it up and over, and you get an even bigger field of view. Along with that ridge line, you're going to need a prusik knot on each side of it to get a nice tight tarp across that ridge line. And you're going to need 4 tent stakes. 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you do drop that awning down a little bit and stake it out down here, you will need a 5th stake. Let me take you for your tour so you can see all the different components and the concept of putting it together. So here's our tour. You can see I ran the ridge line across there. Here's an example of one of the prusik knots with a quick toggle. I just picked up a little piece of wood off the ground and popped it in there. Now my tie-out points on this are going to be from the corner, and by the way, this is my trusty DD Hammocks 3x3. So here's a corner tie-out, and then there's going to be a free one, and then one more. So I want to count in from my corner 1, 2. And of course I've done the same thing on the other side. 1, 2, and then over to where that prusik knot is at the ridge line. And the first thing I do is I take this corner and I just drape it over that ridge line. On the back side, it's a similar idea. Here's the corner, and I have one tie-out point that I'm going to leave free, and then I'm going to stake almost straight back from where I'm going to tie it off to that prusik knot on the ridge line. And I'm going to stake that out. So again, I have the corner, a free spot, and then I'm going to stake it. I did the same thing over on the other side. Now this corner, I don't leave out. I just have this out for demonstration so you can see those tie-out points. This is what I can take and tuck it up underneath, and I can set that up as a ground cloth for my gear. Once I have these 2 stakes in, I'm going to do my walls and go towards the front. And here I am going to use the corner tie-out points. I have this one that's here on this side, and I'm tying out the corner there. I'm going to take another corner, and that's the corner that's going to make my awning. And the last thing I'll do is I'll take that and I'll run a ridge line to another tree, or as I said, I could just take this ridge line and tie it out down, use it as a guy line to a stake if I wanted to bring the awning down a little bit. There it is, the Adirondack Shelter. One of my favorites for a good open field of view, for just hanging out in the woods during the day, or if it's a warm evening, but you want a little bit of shelter, you can set up a ground cloth in here with your sleep system. Hey, if you found this video helpful, you like it, don't forget to click that like button and subscribe, and also click that notification button so you know every time I come out with a new video, especially here on Wilderness Wednesday. We'll see you back for another one soon.